All right, we got to figure out this Tommy Lee deal. Even Meredith. Meredith is now doing middays. Meredith now does 10 to 3 here on Q105. So I had this in the pile, but earlier this week, Meredith rolls down the hall, and we were in a commercial break, and Meredith says, hey, have you been following this Tommy Lee deal? Of course, Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. And I'm like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I have it in my pile. So I've had the Tommy Lee story in my pile for the whole damn week. I think since Monday. And it's just bizarre. So Tommy Lee's current wife is Brittany Furlan. And she is breaking her silence about the reported split that she's had with Tommy Lee. So, of course, listen, everyone's familiar with Tommy Lee and Pam Anderson and the whole Pam Anderson, Tommy Lee video. But she reveals that she's now living in a hotel amid tough times in their relationship. Furlan claimed that she was catfished on social media by someone that she presumed to be the Falling in Reverse frontman Ronnie Radke. Ronnie Radke.
Yeah.
Is Falling in Reverse a band?
Yeah.
All right, I'm not the biggest music guy.
I told my husband everything, and anyway, this is just a...
So basically, she was catfished by him, or she's claiming that she was catfished by him. And then somehow Tommy Lee found out, she came clean, and then there's been a lot of sort of online back and forth between all the parties, and Ronnie Radke, I think, might be somewhat kind of like denying it, but also then sending sort of cryptic messages. I don't know. It's all this whole social media playing out. But people are kind of thinking, Meredith was saying that people were sort of romantically, hopeful that maybe Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson would get back together again because, I don't know, because we're hopeful romantics, right?
All right. Well, here's audio, and this is audio of this Ronnie Radke talking about the catfishing story. So, catfishing. So, Tommy Lee's wife was catfished by somebody claiming to be this Ronnie Radke. Is that it?
Right.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I mean, how did you find out your name was like in the middle of all of this? I'm sure you like woke up and you were like, what is going on, right?
Tommy Lee DM'd me and he was very upset. So I thought they were pranking me at first, and then then they were serious, and I was telling them that it's not me, and they were very adamant that it was, and I started doing a deep dive on the account or whatever and started figuring it out. So eventually I was like really upset, so I wanted to figure out who this was, and it became like 3, 4, 5 accounts. A girl flew from Canada to Indianapolis, and
wow.
So yeah.
Are you going to be working with the FBI to like kind of figure this whole thing out? I mean, because this is pretty bad.
I already did. Sent
what have they said?
I mean, they're going to find out who it is. I want to prove to everyone that it's not me, dude. Leave me alone. I'm not. You think if I was going to catfish somebody, I would just use not my name.
That's
or
true.
Like
yeah.
Or you know what I mean? I'll just say hey, or I would DM them on Instagram or Twitter or something.
Wow. All right. So this is a bizarre story.
So he's just caught in the crosshairs.
Yeah, and then Tommy.
Well, that's what he's claiming.
Yeah.
But then apparently she posted some kind of messages that he sent her that she's claiming are really from him.
Oh no! Look at this. Guess who's on hold? Andrew tells me Racy Stacy's on hold, and of course she knows Tommy Lee.
Oh, great. Maybe she can tell us a little more about this.
Hold on a minute. Racy Stacy from Largo, you know Tommy Lee?
I have met Tommy Lee, and Tommy Lee was in my life for about 2 years. Back in like 2007, I met him when I lived in Ocean City, Maryland, when he was DJing with DJ Arrow. And he was actually dating a girl named Brandy at the time. Oh. She had walked to the bathroom, and I was up at the bar. And this girl, Shannon, who was a coworker of mine, he actually signed her pregnant stomach. She got it tattooed, his signature on her stomach while pregnant, same night. And I found out she was cheating on me with the father of my youngest child that is the lookalike of Tommy Lee, which is how I was able to epically turn him down when he made a pass at me in 2007.
Wait a second. Tommy Lee made a pass at you in 2007?
Yes, he did. I was actually pregnant. I wasn't even showing it. It was very early on in my pregnancy of my third child. The father of my child actually looks exactly like Tommy Lee and was my drummer. And when I say looks exactly like Tommy Lee, I mean from head to toe, tattoos, talent, drummer, the whole nine, hung as well.
Whoa. That's too much information.
Wow. Thank you,
Too much
Stacey.
information, Racy Stacy.
That's wonderful.
So when Tommy made a pass at me, Brandy had walked off to the bathroom. He signed her stomach, and I was like, dude, I said, I just had you in my life for the past 5 years. The father of my child is actually your identical twin. I said, I don't need to be a punching bag. I don't need to have you in my life anymore. And I'm putting the baby up for adoption. So I dodged a bullet. See you later. Bye. And I said, oh, by the way, you have dirty something and he doesn't.
Okay, so that's a lot to unload on Tommy just for trying to hit on somebody.
This is how I ethically turned him down in the club in 2007.
He had probably never been more grateful
Hold
to
on.
have been turned down.
So Tommy Lee's hitting on you. What did you say to Tommy Lee to turn him down?
That's exactly what I told him to his face.
Okay, so MJ.
That I was just getting rid of his identical twin that I had just had in my life for 5 years.
The best thing
I don't
to
need
happen.
you in my life. I don't need to be a punching bag. I said, by the way,
no.
you got
That's what she said to Tommy
bleach,
Lee.
and he don't.
So
all right,
that is the best thing to happen to Tommy Lee's life is not getting with you.
So here's the kicker, Fester.
Well,
I
please.
ran into one of his closest friends of 25 years when I worked at Deja Vu in Tampa as a juice girl.
Right,
So
juice
check
girl.
this out.
Yeah.
Me and him, he calls Tommy on the phone, starts telling him how I met him in Ocean City and how I turned him down. Before he can even get anything out of his mouth, Tommy is already screaming, put her on the phone. I'm on the phone with Tommy. Not only am I turning him down for a second time, he actually is buffering his $250,000 yacht. He doesn't.
Hold on, he's buffing. Hold on. You said hold on. Wait. Hang on. Stop. Hold
Let her
on.
go.
He's buffing his $250,000 yacht.
Yep,
With-
and me and him are on the phone, and I've gotten him so flustered because not only am I turning him down for a second time, the head of the buffer falls off. He puts a hole in the boat and tells me, well, that's why you got insurance.
Oh
So over the years, because I am one of his best friend's poker partners with Michael, a.k.a. Antonio, he has
What are we
sent
doing?
numerous times
What are we doing?
tickets to will call for me to show up at a show.
Okay.
There has been plane tickets sent to me to go out to Vegas. I have said no to everything.
Okay.
Oh, wait, it gets better. Because Antonio,
What?
because Antonio actually is, me and him are hanging out and playing poker and stuff.
Right.
He has actually got the in on the scavenger hunt that Tommy does. Tommy Lee does a scavenger hunt nationwide.
Oh my God.
Where you can like pull headlights, like tail light, like.
Stacy, I gotta take a nap. Okay. Stacy, you've worn me out.
Yeah, that's what most of the men say.
So anyway, there's the Jack Daniels challenge, which I passed, and he videotaped it, sent it to Tommy.
All right.
There is a mug with my name on it in Tommy Lee's fridge that because I passed the Jack Daniels challenge and he saw the video, there is actually a name with my name with a mug on it in his fridge because I
Racy Stacy from Blogger. Stacy, I gotta take a nap now. Stacy, you've tired me out. Okay.
have a great day, guys.
All right, thank you, Stacy. Wow, Racy Stacy from Largo.
Wow.
Jessica, so we're talking about Tommy Lee. What a story. Did you keep Michelle? Did you
No.
keep track of any of that?
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it.
My
But I
God.
think she gave us more information that we needed, but also information that puts everything into context,
Oh my
right?
God.
I mean-
the only thing to put in context is that she's nuts.
No, should we stop?
I love her, but she's crazy.
She wants to join us for our next lunch outing, she tells me.
Let's not tell her.
Hope you liked the video. If you did, then hit the like, share, subscribe, all this crap down here.